Under the relentless Canaan sun, Joseph stands out vividly among his brothers, their figures stark against the desert expanse. His distinctive coat, a vibrant beacon of his father's affection, ignites envy among his brothers. The unforgiving landscape mirrors their isolation and simmering resentment. The desert wind whispers tales of favoritism and growing discord. Inside Jacob's tent, candlelight flickers, painting the scene with shadows and unspoken tensions. The other sons sit around the tent's edges, their expressions revealing simmering resentment and discontent. Joseph recounts his dream, his voice filled with youthful confidence. "I had a dream. We were all out in the field, binding sheaves of grain. My sheaf rose up and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." The tent air thickens with palpable tension as Joseph finishes speaking. Under the scorching sun of Dothan, a group of brothers gathers, their faces etched with grim intent. The air vibrates with unspoken malice as they plot against Joseph, their hearts consumed by dark thoughts. A collective intent hangs heavy in the air, their faces a mask of malice. Reuben steps forward. A flicker of conflict momentarily softens his hardened features. He proposes an alternative, a subtle glimmer of mercy in his eyes, suggesting Joseph be cast into a pit rather than murdered. The landscape mirrors their ominous intent, the air thick with unease and unspoken malice. Bound and stripped of his vibrant coat, Joseph's anguish pierces the stark landscape as he is sold to Ishmaelite traders. His colorful past is reduced to rags as the traders prepare to drag him away. The caravan begins its march, each step carrying Joseph further from his homeland. The caravan disappears into the horizon, leaving behind the land of Canaan and severing Joseph's ties to his former life. Joseph, despite his weariness, enters Potiphar's opulent home, a stark contrast to his enslaved status. The grandeur of the setting, intricately painted ceilings, and polished marble floors highlights Joseph's changed circumstances. Richly adorned furniture fills the room, emphasizing the vast difference between Joseph's past and present. He stands tall, his keen eyes observing his surroundings. Joseph's diligence and integrity soon earn Potiphar's trust. In the dimly lit room, Potiphar's wife moves with predatory grace, circling Joseph with a burning desire. Joseph stands firm, his face a mask of resolve as he tries to maintain a respectful distance from Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife's voice drips with seductive enticement. "Joseph, why do you resist? I have everything, and I offer it to you." With unwavering integrity, Joseph declares, "I cannot betray my master's trust, nor can I violate my conscience. What you ask is wrong." The heavy iron door clangs shut, sealing Joseph into the oppressive darkness. Stone walls rise high, barely allowing a sliver of sunlight to penetrate the dungeon's gloom. The air hangs heavy with the stench of mildew and despair, a tangible weight in the oppressive atmosphere. In a shadowed corner, the royal cupbearer and the baker huddle together, their faces etched with worry. Despite his grim surroundings, Joseph carries an aura of quiet strength, an unyielding light in the abyss. He listens intently as they recount their troubling dreams, his eyes gleaming with divine understanding. Years later, anxiety pervades the grand hall of the pharaoh's palace. The pharaoh sits on his throne, visibly troubled by recurring dreams. Unspoken fear hangs heavy in the air, casting a pall over the court. A former cupbearer steps forward, bowing deeply before the pharaoh. He remembers Joseph and dares to recommend him to the pharaoh. The court holds its breath, awaiting the pharaoh's response to this bold suggestion. The throne room blazes with sunlight, illuminating the silent anticipation hanging in the air. Joseph, hands bound, is brought before the radiant pharaoh. He bows, a humble figure radiating quiet strength amidst the grandeur. He listens intently as Pharaoh begins to speak of troubling visions. Joseph declares, "The ability to interpret dreams comes from God, not myself." In the opulent throne room, sunlight bathes Pharaoh as Joseph stands before him, the air alive with anticipation. Joseph's voice cuts through the stillness. "The dreams, O Pharaoh, foretell 7 years of great abundance in all the land of Egypt." Joseph continues, his tone darkening. "But after them will arise 7 years of famine, and all the abundance will be forgotten. The famine will consume the land." With unwavering resolve, Joseph advises, "Therefore, let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let him appoint officials to harvest 1/5 of the produce during the years of abundance." Joseph concludes with a grave warning. "This food should be held in store as a reserve for the country, to be used during the 7 years of famine that will come upon Egypt, so that the country may not be ruined by the famine." Pharaoh, stunned by the profound wisdom, utters in awe, "Such wisdom! I have never encountered its like." In the opulent throne room, Pharaoh's commanding gesture sets in motion a life-altering moment for Joseph. Pharaoh proclaims Joseph governor, second only to himself. A royal attendant presents a signet ring, a symbol of immense power. Pharaoh places the ring on Joseph's finger, sealing the covenant. Fine linen clothes are draped over Joseph's shoulders, replacing his humble attire with garments of authority. A heavy gold chain is fastened around Joseph's neck, the final emblem of his transformation from slave to ruler. Joseph stands tall amidst the Egyptian granaries, his gaze sweeping over the landscape. The granaries overflow with grain, a testament to years of abundance. The sheer magnitude of the harvest speaks of Joseph's foresight. The once barren land now thrives, a vibrant contrast to the looming famine. Joseph's benevolent presence radiates across the land, a beacon of hope. The once lush Egyptian countryside lies barren, a testament to the famine's unforgiving touch. Dust devils dance across the desolate plains, mocking the land's former fertility. Figures emerge on the horizon, their weary steps echoing their desperation for sustenance. Faces etched with hunger and hope converge, drawn by the promise of grain from Joseph. The relentless sun beats down, amplifying the suffering of those who seek refuge in Egypt. In their eyes, a flicker of hope persists, a fragile ember against the backdrop of despair. Joseph's brothers enter the opulent office, their weathered faces stark against the Egyptian grandeur. Lost in a world of opulence, the farmers bow low before the regal figure, seeking sustenance. Joseph observes them, his expression a mask, hiding a storm of pain and recognition. His eyes flicker with suppressed emotion, a hidden truth veiled by years of separation and betrayal. The air crackles with dramatic irony, the weight of unspoken history hanging heavy between them. Joseph sits, a figure of authority, his stern gaze piercing through the opulent office. The brothers stand before Joseph, a silent tableau of fear and remorse. Joseph's accusation of espionage echoes in the room, amplifying the tension. Worried glances flicker between the brothers, heavy with the weight of past deeds. The air in Joseph's office hangs thick with guilt and suspicion. The weight of their collective past bears down on Joseph and his brothers. Sunlight bathes Joseph's palace as he stands before his brothers, his face a canvas of hardship and triumph. "I am Joseph. Does my father still live?" Overwhelmed, Joseph commands, "Come closer to me." In a torrent of emotion, Joseph reveals, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt." And now, do not be distressed, and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. Joseph urges, "Hurry back to my father and tell him, this is what your son Joseph says. God has made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not delay. You shall live in the region of Goshen and be near me, you, your children and grandchildren, your flocks and herds, and all you have. I will provide for you there, because 5 years of famine are still to come. Otherwise, you and your household and all that belongs to you will become destitute." Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated for more videos.